Year of High Consequence, Day 10. And I wanted to just get my both of my boys here and just started, even though I don't know what I'm going to say next exactly. I just saw a thing from one of those remote viewers and such said, we're a prophecy planet. It's going to be the last. We're going to end the wars. Yeah, there's another one saying, but it's not exactly what Jehovah's saying. And what the Christians don't get is that Jehovah's saying this to all of these civilizations all over the galaxy, all over the cosmos. If we're doing the Judgment Day, heaven on earth thing, we're not going to do that on every single planet, are we? Unless you're just the God of Earth. Someone said that about my creation myth vision that I saw there. That's just about Earth. Well, guess what? Even if it is just about Earth, we have this global civilization with a lot of different cultures, a lot of different inputs, and all these different ways to be cool tribally and not destroy the planet. But there was going to be a globalization of our efforts and all of this strange trying to make things happen energy that we have as a human race, in contrast to all the other animals that seem to find a niche and just chill out in it without having to take over the planet or make anything different than just relaxing and chilling out. Tops on that food chain would be these cats. They, and it's good to have. I mean, they're such meditative. They're so centered and calm. The dogs in the front yard. It's funny. We have kind of a energetic front yard, backyard thing. The backyard like goes down to paradise down there. There's a little pond. Sometimes we can make this whole thing into a permaculture farm slash sculpture garden, walkways, and have just beautiful. I don't know how many other people could do this to their. This is just gorgeous. You guys see these trees? All of these trees, awesome. Oh, I feel surrounded by life and complexity. And as a sculptor, I'm impressed by the complex nature of energy. You know, it seems creative, not just vital and joyous. And I say I'm from the art planets, and you never know. In my own imagination, I've seen all kinds of things, and some of the tribes actually went to the place where they were. Well, it's a human thing, yeah. The tribes enhancing, not just you have a niche in the ecology, and then you enhance it some more. It's um, and there's a repeating theme of commons where people gather and have festivities, and then people have their own level of responsibilities, first to themselves, to their blood family, to the extended community. And we're talking about this goes all the way to cosmos now. And listen, there's ample evidence of UFOs out there. Why aren't they intervening? Because probably not as from as complex as a culture as we've got going on down here. This is well, who knows, right? um, and the dark elites and evil. If this were to be the showdown where we're trying to like actually, you know, bring things to a conclusion of, does everybody have enough information now to make choices and be intelligently, proactively part of the expanding potential joy of creation? Or are we going to backstabby fight it and just be fearful and hoard and all that? So we have all these spirit schools now on Earth in full bloom. Everybody sharing all their nth dimensional wisdom, the biblical prophecies, the Hopi prophecies, the Aquarius prophecies, the Mayan prophecies, everything coming down right now. And you can throw all that out the window and just look at what actually is happening with respect to the resources, the biodiversity, um, our supply lines, the fact that we've extended our culture globally, and basically what happens to the human race happens to the rest of the ecology to some extent. And so we've made it a battle for the planet, and yet most of us are still struggling with just trying to keep our own little thing together. And that represents, if you want to get metaphysical about that, each of us has a personal ultimate challenge we could engage, where we're going to make choices that connect us back to real meaning and groundedness. And all of these previous tribes demonstrated that if you do it calmly and gracefully, you can endure basically forever, generation after generation. You push it to the global limit where we've gone, and also beyond just folklore in terms of information. Because come on, kids, I know people. My friend, this couple friend, I'm not going to name them, I guess. People want to go back to tribal days. Yeah, we need to get that energy back, and there's ways to do it. I've seen it in the modern context. We almost launched a tribe in '77 out of Bennington College. I did a sunrise celebration thing, and that came to me in vision. Over the winter vacation, I had a vision about doing a 50-foot diameter sunrise circle, and I executed it on that same weekend. Somebody else randomly, synchronistically, it was a dress to drop Friday night party. I didn't know that was happening. I put up some posters. Meet me at dawn or pre-dawn at the sunrise circle, and 80 people out of 600. That's a lot. I had a party that started at 2 a.m. At my place with just my inner crew. And that turned into an amazing, we had a videotape. It didn't survive to where I could share it now, or you guys would see me as a pretty good, like, shamanistic. And I was feeling it. I want to say I'm Astro Indigenous. This is my own hair right here. But, the hippie days, a lot of people saw that intimately. We weren't just pretending to be like as if indigenous. Indigenous means what? Of the land? I don't know. By the way, being called Indian is not such a bad thing. It's not a bad name. It was in Dios, in God. It means in God, actually. In Spanish is what that means. So there's and then yeah, the Hopi one. Oh my God, they are really precise. And I've seen it from all these different insights, including that Jehovah's real. But what the Jehovites, the Christians, don't get the full story because it would be too complicated to explain. How you could have someone sort of the daddy of the cosmos in a way, because the cosmos is a living entity. Sophia was there. It's a little bit complex, but it's a metaphor that it's as above, so below. But a lot of these things are literal in ways we couldn't even imagine. And I'm calling this a year of high consequence because I think we have a window where the resources are just right to where people are feeling it. We got to do something. I'm helping some boys in Africa who were about 22, 23. That's my age right now, although I just turned 70 numerically. How long have I been 22? 48 years? Whatever that is. I'm not doing the math. I'm still 22. I realized in 75 or before, but right around then, I wasn't going to take the normal path to have a career, even though I'm sure I could have had a good art career and probably anything other than that as well. I dropped out of Harvard. I was tops in my class at Phillips Andover, oldest prep school, the Bush brothers. And why am I saying all that? Because nobody's paying attention to me now, and yet maybe they should. And I want to get some people talking to me about what's possible. I deliberately dropped out of Harvard to not pursue the vision of one single company was going to try to be the futuristic tribe and handle all the modern things in an intelligent way. That's such a hard sell. Nobody's going to buy into that. So I stayed with my visioning, and it got me to this place now where I think I'm validated that to hold on to all that. And I'm in a place where I can dedicate full time because I'm as if retired, and I have a family that I'm affiliated with, so I know what they're going through, and it really is craziness. And yet we need to break through all of that, each of us. And so there's all kinds of things to break through. One of them is don't take Mikey seriously because he doesn't have any official credentials. Okay, yeah, see how long that. that's okay. I have to keep honing the message, gather a crew, and there's other people that are coming through with their visioning about what needs to happen now. This is I was going to say, whether you believe in any of the spirit visioning from the material point of view, just strictly what you can see, we have to really take care of how we're interacting, and whether we're going to just be cold blooded about it, or we're going to just at least take into account the subjective experience of being part of this, and sympathize, if not empathize. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Understand that we're all kind of, uh, if you want to just say randomly, could have been any one of us. Yeah, but the fact is, we're all one big family. So bringing it back means somehow finding ways to trust each other, but it's not generic. It's not, uh, you know, all material. It's but you have to take care of physical realities. I was going to say everybody's spooked by the dark elites. If you put yourself in the shoes of the ruling class of, I'm saying they're really like the kings of old, and you really have to be responsible for your people. Now you can't just pray that everything's going to be okay, and somehow the organic nature of tribes and how that all used to work out somehow. Now we're trying to do it consciously, and you have to, as leader of a huge amount of people, you have to make sure there's a supply line, and you're now responsible for this. It could get you to be pretty fatalistic and certainly materialistic. Um, as a plebe, you can just hope things come your way. As the king, you got to make sure there's enough food in the land somehow if you're going to be responsible. So I'm saying there's a natural motivation for people that are in the situation of what used to be chiefs, but now it became kings with more people, and you're not seeing everyone intimately anymore. And now you have a separation where you don't have to deal with everyone as human beings. They're like the people, and you're the king and the ruling class, and the pointing of fingers. And right now, if we're going to get constructive and overcome that karma, also, if we're making it a metaphysical, existential thing, these are all things that keep us apart. But it's not as simple as just saying it's okay, which, because the elites have gone through their negative karma of being manipulators and hoarding and all that. And I'm trying to speak directly to them, directly to both sides. Stop pointing fingers at the elites. Elites, understand that the way to bring this home is to begin to share the ownership. And it doesn't have to be in all the resources. There's key resources: food, housing, clothing, different functions that are key. We would like to make it so that you can envision companies that just gather people together and then start matching resources to keep them all going. And you take that, the basic resources is one aspect. People have some flex jobs involved with keeping the basic resources going. But then you're also offering to each individual a lifetime of education, and everybody pursuing their dreams of whatever it is they think they're bringing to this party, because we're all part of this magnificent coming together that people are calling the prophecy planet, and Jehovah's calling the judgment day, and possibly heaven on earth. When he says heaven on earth, why would he say that if he didn't mean that it was possible? Yeah, if we do something, if we step up. But that if you're just pure materialite, man, we need to step up or we're going to crash the planet from resource-based use. And the intelligent way to do that is let people be more responsible. And if we do that in time and get over all our finger pointing and all the hatred, the elites, the current rule, people that have worked to get like estates going, nobody needs to take any of that away from anyone. When we all have enough, and we're all in a condition of feeling supported and also encouraged to come out of our shell and really honor each other's visions of who we can be, instead of calling each other crazy or whatever, because things are real. A lot of people that have been called crazy, turns out, have been seeing things that are kind of real. But nevertheless, it could all be metaphor for what we're doing in the real world. Well, we need to, we've mastered the material side of all of these resources. But if we don't bring it back to something meaningful, we're overusing them, just strictly from adding it up that way. We're overusing it, not intelligent use. We're incentivizing the wrong things. A strict materialist accounting would have us be more intelligent about our use. And then if you analyze the way living systems work, you understand that things kind of organically come together in meaning. Uh, Holograms, embedded holographs of meaning, as it were. Okay, your me, then family, then community, then nation, if you want. Global. At a certain point, to keep it intimate, you have to keep it at the right scale. I'm saying from purely materialists, we need to come back to community and treat each other as human beings and honor our subjective side, which is all this. But if you say labor versus management, it's of us versus them. The great healing involves bringing it together in places we can do it, which is the open market of new ventures, businesses, organizations, just, new festivals, people coming together. And the life of now is enjoying it in the moment. Let's do it.